Hi, my name's Paul Maycock. My wife had gone up to her mother's and I decided that as it was a nice afternoon, I'd put my gear on and go out for a bike ride. I was on my way back when I had my cardiac arrest, came off the bike, hit my head on the road. I had a helmet on naturally, which obviously helped to save my life. I was fortunate enough to have people following me who recognised exactly what had happened and started to perform CPR on me.
Paul had messaged me to say that he was going out for a bike ride. I came home, went to unlock the door, and I had a feeling that something wasn't quite right. I tried ringing Paul's phone number and obviously got no reply. At that time I had no idea as to what had happened to him.
So when the call came in, the initial information that we were given was this was a cyclist who had been found unconscious. Once we got to scene, we understood that Paul had a heartbeat back after being shocked with a defibrillator a number of times. Sammy, the doctor I was working with at the time, did what we call a primary survey, which is like a rapid assessment of the patient's status and what their injuries are. We felt that it was probably a medical cause that caused Paul to collapse, and we felt that he needed to go to a cardiac centre, which would be either London or Ashford. We agreed that we were going to do a pre-hospital anaesthetic, which is basically to place a breathing tube into the patient's windpipe and then to breathe for them, correcting their sort of blood gases and the oxygen in their blood, and to control their blood pressure. We took Paul up the road to the helicopter and then we flew him to London, which was the closest appropriate centre.
I had a partially blocked artery which caused the cardiac arrest. That was subsequently stented. When they did a scan on my heart, there was no scarring at all. Didn't need an ICD. 2 weeks later, I was discharged.
Without the care of KSS, Paul would not have got an anaesthetic at scene, and he would have had to have gone to a local hospital, which wouldn't necessarily have been able to deliver the treatment that he needed.
My first visit to KSS, to be honest, I was a little bit nervous, a bit apprehensive if you like, but very excited as well. And then when I met Jon, one of the paramedics that attended to me, it was like, wow, this is brilliant. And to be able to talk about the experience and share my experience and even show him some of the pictures was wonderful. One
of the really great things about meeting Paul is that we've been able to fill in some of the gaps about what happened to him, so he's got a bit more understanding about what happened on the day. And also for me to kind of see the amazing recovery he's had and to learn a little bit about him, his family and who he is as a person. My life now is thankfully back to normal. I'm out playing golf twice a week, racquetball when I can. I'm enjoying my music, going to gigs, buying records, enjoying time with the family. I'm just thankful that I'm able to do the things now that I was able to do before my accident. KSS is a charity. We're only able to be there for people like Paul thanks to our fundraisers, and we're really, really grateful for that.
If it hadn't been for KSS, I would have lost Paul, my husband, my children, their father, and my grandchildren, their grandfather. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for KSS. Join them in the fight to save lives like mine.